Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you how to carve a morel mushroom. You see these carvings quite a bit around Michigan in people's yards. A lot of guys will do them even if they don't have any experience in chainsaw carving, just because they're pretty simple. These mushrooms grow in so many different shapes, you don't really have to worry about getting the cuts just perfect. It's not really going to look bad if it's not the exact shape that you're going for. So here I'm starting by just cutting it to the height that I want. This one's about 14 inches, which is a pretty small one as far as these carvings go. Most of them that you see are a couple feet tall. So now I'm just starting to get the rough shape blocked out. The main thing you want to look at is keeping it symmetrical. Whatever cut you make, try to make the exact same one on the other side. So I'll make a couple of cuts and then move around the carving 90 degrees and make the same cuts. This will keep it the same shape all the way around. So once you have your first 4 cuts done, you'll just work on rounding off the corners. You don't really want any sharp edges, so just try to smooth the whole thing out all the way around. And then I use the tip of the bar to round off the top corner by just dragging it across the corner. You can either do it this way or turn the saw on its side and cut off the corner like you did with the other ones. I just find this a little bit easier. So then I'll start shaving some more of the bark off of the log. This will be the widest part of the mushroom, so you want to try to only take as much off as you have to get the bark off of there. So then I'll start making my cuts in to shape out the bottom of the mushroom where it meets the stem. You don't want to go too deep right here. It's always better to just keep them a little shallow, and you can take off more if you need to. But you can't put it back if you go too deep. So then, just like I did on the top, I'll make 2 cuts and then move around 90 degrees and make the same cuts. So now I flipped the carving over and got it clamped in the vise, and now I'll just remove the rest of the bark off the bottom. So then once the rest of the bark is removed, I'll start shaping the stem of the mushroom. again, just moving around and making sure that it all stays symmetrical. So then once I finished getting it all shaped up, I stepped back and looked, and the top part of the mushroom is a little bit small compared to the stem. So I just cut it off to the height that I thought looked good. So then that's it for the chainsaw. So then I use a die grinder to start adding in all the little grooves that give a Morel its unique look. So before you start carving these grooves, it's important to look at a good reference picture of a real Morel and really study how the grooves actually look on the real mushroom. A lot of guys will just look at someone else's carving and try to match that, but then you start getting carvings that end up looking nothing like a real mushroom. So one of the main things I'm looking at when I'm doing these grooves is the distance in between. I want to keep that about the same throughout the whole mushroom. On one this size, I keep it about 1/8 of an inch. And then also you want to try to keep the placement of the grooves as random as possible. You don't want to start to get any sort of pattern, or it's not going to look natural. So then after I'm done with the grinder, then we'll start burning it with a propane torch. The darkest part of the mushroom is inside the groove, so you just want to focus on getting that to an almost black or dark brown color. And then we'll come back later and lighten up the rest of it. So then I'll flip the carving and do a little bit of burning on the stem part of the mushroom. This just gives it a little more character and a little more natural look. So then after all the burning is finished, I'll get the die grinder again and just brush it along the tops of the grooves to lighten them up and give it the look that a Morel has. You could do this with sandpaper too. The grinder's just a little bit faster. then I'll flip the carving on its side again and just do a little bit of grinding on the stem portion. It just gives it a little more natural look with some light and dark areas. Smooths it out a little bit more too. And then that's it. The carving's finished. So then you'll just want to seal it with a clear coat, either exterior or interior, depending on where you're going to display it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks.